everybody, it's JT Sports Match, you guys, with another video. This video I'm here with my Iowa versus Michigan college football week 6 preview and predictions. I'm going to be previewing this matchup and get my prediction for who will win this game. Now, before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Little NFL videos and college football videos daily. So, number 14 Iowa on the road at number 19 Michigan. This is a huge game in terms of college football playoff implications, because if Michigan loses, they're most definitely going to be out, and they are most definitely going to be unranked after this game if they end up losing. And Iowa, if they lose, then I think their road to the college football playoffs, I still think they have a chance to get in, but it's going to be pretty slim. So basically at this point, this is a must-win game for both of these teams. But I do think that Michigan has to win this game more than Iowa has to win this game. And I know that's going to sound a little bit weird to some people, because, I mean, this is a very important game because we're basically midway through the college football season. But I just think Michigan needs to win this game a lot more than Iowa needs to win this game, and simply for the fact that Harbaugh has a lot of pressure on him, a lot of heat. A lot of people are calling for him to be on the hot seat due to that blowout loss that they suffered versus Wisconsin. And a lot of Michigan fans were expecting this team to be a college football playoff team. And so far, it looks like their chances are fading, especially if they lose this game. Then they're most likely going to be on their way outside looking in of the college football playoffs. So, I mean, this is a very big game for Michigan. Let's not also forget that this game is at home as well. So, this is a big-time matchup for both of these teams, big-time conference play matchup, and Michigan is going to be at home. So, Michigan is going to have the home field advantage in this game. Now, they blew out Rutgers last week. They put 50 on Rutgers, but I mean, I still wasn't that impressed. Really, I mean, Shea Patterson was okay. I mean, he had one touchdown, one interception. I wasn't really blown away by his performance. The running game still hasn't impressed me at all. I mean, I still think they were pretty much lackluster running the football. And I still wasn't really that impressed. Now, the defense looked like they bounced back because they were playing Rutgers. But, I mean, in a game like this versus Iowa, a lot of people don't really watch a lot of Iowa, and myself included. I mean, I watch a little bit of Iowa from time to time, but a lot of people don't watch Iowa because they consider Iowa boring. They don't have a lot of explosive plays. They don't do anything really innovative on the offense side of the ball. They just get the job done. I mean, they play good defense. They run the football. They take care of the football. When they do drop back to throw it, they're not attempting all these big pass plays and things like that. And Nate Stanley has been pretty consistent playing for Iowa. He's probably one of the most consistent quarterbacks that we have in the nation. I don't think he's doing an interception yet. So this Iowa Hawkeyes football team, I mean, they're not flashy or anything, but they take care of the football and they play solid defense. Then let's not also forget that they have one of the better defensive players in college football, AJ Epinesa, who, although hasn't really did that much up to this point in the season, he's only had one sack, but you can't overlook him going into this matchup in this game versus Michigan, because he could easily end up having a very big game in the struggles that Michigan has had on the offensive line. So, I mean, this is a very interesting matchup. You got Iowa, you got Michigan. Both of these teams not really explosive on the offensive side of the ball. You think Michigan should be explosive with the players that they have on the offensive side of the ball. You got Shea Patterson, you got Donovan, you got Peoples-Jones and things like that. But, I mean, this Michigan offense isn't really that explosive, what a lot of people thought they would be before this season started. And Iowa's offense has always historically over the past not really been explosive, just really been methodical. They take care of the football. They don't turn the ball over. So, looking at my keys to victory, what each of these teams is doing ever have a chance of winning this game. If you're Michigan, you have to force turnovers. I just said that Iowa is a team that doesn't really turn the ball over that much. So if you're Michigan, you're going to have to force turnovers. You're going to want to have to get some extra possessions. And also with the way that this Michigan offense has been playing the last couple of weeks, you want to give Michigan's offense a short field to work with and help them win that that field position battle by forcing turnovers and putting the offense in good situations to try to score touchdowns, if not at least get a couple of field goals, because this offense has struggled to move the ball up and down the field consistently all season. And if you're going to say this Michigan offense looks improved from playing Rutgers, one of the worst teams in college football, and they just fired their coach a couple of days ago, I'm not going to say this Michigan offense was better because they played Rutgers, because this Michigan offense still didn't really impress me. So they're going to have to force turnovers. They're going to have to win the field position battle. And this defense is going to have to help this offense by creating turnovers and giving them a short field and helping them increase their chances of scoring. Next thing that Michigan needs to do, they have to stop A.J. Epinesa. Now, although he only has 1 sack, he hasn't really did that much so far for Iowa. I still think he's a player that you have to look out for, because he is a player that can end up potentially wrecking this game. And the way that Michigan's offensive line has played so far this season, this could be a matchup that he could end up exploiting. And I mean, this could be a game that he ends up going crazy and he ends up having a 3-sack, 4-sack game, and he just ends up being just the all-around unstoppable force that Michigan won't be able to stop. So if you're Michigan, you want to limit the impact that he has on this game. And the last thing Michigan needs to be able to do is they need to get the run game going. The run game the only time the run game really got going was against Army, and their true freshman halfback had 100 yards, and I believe he had like 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns, something like that. So I mean, if you're Michigan, you're gonna have to find a way to get this run game going. Michigan has not really been able to run the football that well. I mean, against Rutgers, they weren't really able to run the football that well at all, really. So I mean, I'm still not really sold on this Michigan rushing attack. And if Michigan wants to be able to win this game, they're going to have to be able to run the football, because I still don't really trust Shea Patterson. Because, I mean, last week versus Rutgers, I mean, he still didn't really look that impressive to me versus Rutgers at all. So I still think that Shea Patterson still has some ways to go. So if you're Michigan, you're going to have to be able to get that run game going. You get the run game going, then you can set up the play action pass game and use some deceptiveness there and use a little bit of trickery to get the offense going. But I think if Michigan isn't able to set up the run and use the run to help establish the passing game, then I think Michigan's going to have a very good chance of losing this game if they're not able to get the run game going. Now, what Iowa has to do in able to win this game, if you're Iowa, you have to get pressure on Shea Patterson. This offensive line for Michigan has been pretty shaky so far throughout this season so far. So if you're Iowa, you want to be able to get pressure on Shea Patterson, and Shea Patterson hasn't really been able to take that step up like a lot of people thought that he would. So you got to be able to get pressure on Shea Patterson if they want to be able to win this game. A.J. Epinesa, he's going to have a big impact in this game for Iowa, because, I mean, this is a guy who's supposed to be a first-round draft pick and had a lot of hype going into the season, and he's only produced 1 sack up to this point, which is very disappointing. And he's going to have to step up and dominate his matchup, whoever he's going to be matched up against versus Michigan, if Iowa wants to end up beating Michigan on the road at Michigan. And the last thing that Iowa needs to be able to do to win this game is they have to limit turnovers. Iowa historically isn't a team that doesn't really turn the ball over that much. So they just need to stick to who they are, stay true to who they are, limit the turnovers, take what the defense gives you. And I mean, I think Iowa, at this point, Iowa has a good chance to win this game, but I mean, a big way for Iowa to lose this game is giving up turnovers, letting the crowd get back into the game, and I mean, just giving Michigan a short field to work with. So the team that I'm going with to win this game, I'm going with Iowa to win this game. Michigan, I'm just not sold on Michigan. I just think this is going to be another down year for Michigan and Harbaugh, and I'm just not sold, man. I mean, I know they put up 50 on Rutgers, but it's Rutgers, man. This is one of the worst teams in all of college football. They just got done firing their head coach, who only had like 8 wins in 3 seasons. So I mean, they didn't even look that good versus Rutgers. Shea Patterson had like interception and a touchdown pass, and I mean, the offense still didn't look that impressive to me. The defense looked impressive to me, but I mean, they can't run the football. This offense just looks lackadaisical. So I'm going to take Iowa to win this game. I think Iowa ends up winning this game. I think this game is going to be a lot close than what the Wisconsin game was for Michigan, because I don't think Iowa's offense is going to be that explosive as what Wisconsin's offense is. But hey, who knows, man? I mean, all Wisconsin just does is run the ball into the dirt. So you think Michigan would have found out a way to stop that? But I think Michigan's defense looks a little bit more improved, and I do think think this game will be close, but I think Iowa comes away with the victory at Michigan. Say the final score will probably be 17-13 will probably be my final score prediction. I'm not expecting a lot of points in this game. So that's my final score prediction. I have Iowa win this game 17-13. So let me know who you guys think is going to end up winning this game down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos. And thanks for watching.